hard-working royal, Meghan Markle is rebranding herself on the new Netflix lifestyle show with Love Meghan, which has a lot of haters trolling her online. Yeah. People are saying it looks boring, that she's unrelatable, and that it feels contrived. Of course, these are the haters,
They just want to hate on her.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm watching every single episode. I loved the trailer. I loved the promo. When Martha Stewart first started doing this, no one was saying all these things. This has more to do with the fact that people want to hate on Meghan Markle than I think, this topic. I garden, as all of you know. I've got 1 million animals. I raise bees and cultivate honey. She's doing things that there go my beautiful gardens.
How does she have time to do this
stuff? That's what I say respectfully, and I love Meghan Markle, but my favorite Meghan Markle is the one who's doing charitable works abroad, meeting with underprivileged kids. This felt it's beautifully shot.
Why does she have to be one-dimensional?
It just feels a little bit maybe tone deaf. I feel like people are struggling to make ends meet. You're working around the clock. You're maybe microwaving a meal because you got to feed your kids, work, and get a bunch done. I would love to have pretty pastries and honey and all that. Okay, wait, I don't have time.
Can I say something to you
because they can't afford the grocery stores
I do like
anymore.
that
You know something? During the Depression, when I was born, during the Depression, back in 1929, the Hollywood only had movies about rich people.
That's true. That were aspirational.
Because, not just that, people were sick of seeing themselves in poverty-stricken. They wanted to see how rich people were doing. So sometimes it works to see somebody who's married to a prince, who's beautiful, who knows how to garden and make cupcakes.
Actually, put it that way, I might like it. A different shift of what I'm reading about is not just that it's wealthy or aspirational, but that it lacks a certain authenticity. And what I mean by that is we're living in a time of not Martha Stewart, not printed magazines, it's Instagram, social media, trying to reveal what your real feelings are. It's all about transparency. And she's shooting all this, saying, come into my kitchen.
Social media is all about transparency?
Wait, Sunny,
that's the highlight reel. People lie on social media.
Wait 1 second. It's the YouTube of showing behind the scenes. This isn't her kitchen. So what she's doing is she's saying, come to my home. This is what my life looks like. But it's a rented property. So I think it's this feeling of Jennifer Garner had my pretend cooking show.
Which I'm obsessed with.
And people love it. But it's in her kitchen.
So that people can go and show up and all the haters can show up to her real house?
No, you don't have to give me the address. But my point is that you can show people an insight, because I didn't know she could do it. Bravo to all her skills. I can't do that. But I think if you're going to sell it as I bring in my close friends, we're having coffee, it's a kitchen table, but it's not your kitchen table and you rented the house and it's a location shoot, it just misses something there.
Listen, I don't know if you've ever had shooting in your house, but it's incredibly intrusive, particularly if you've got children and pets and other things around.
And you're raising a royal.
What I found out differently there.
Okay, what I found out though was she's actually not rebranding herself. She's kind of going back to her old brand, because before the Tig. Before she married Harry, she had a lifestyle blog that people loved.
Yeah, she's
and she's going back to all of that. What I didn't get, and I still don't get, is people whose, I guess, existence, raison d'etre, is just trolling and hating on Instagram. That's why on Twitter. That's how they exist. That's getting the clicks and the coverage from doing that. We're hating on her. When you go on Twitter or you go on Instagram and you start bitching and moaning about Meghan Markle, you know what's going to happen? The algorithm is going to flood you with more material about Meghan Markle.
No, there's a lot of and we could all afford to be kinder online and not look for ways to attack people just because we disagree with them. But I think, listen, there is an audience for this. I absolutely, now that I'm thinking about it, I would fall asleep to this. I think the one thing is we have to.
I'm the audience.
There's a lot that a lot of people are struggling, and I think just showing that sort of sensitivity to the moment that we're living in, that we can't all have these gorgeous kitchens and these taking our time to make 3-course meals and having honey and trees and all that.
Yeah,
that was
I don't have a problem with that stuff. I would say if you're going to show us your friends, maybe meet out at a coffee thing and do we're all real friends, because it feels like you're selling. When I watched the promo, I was like, oh, this is so sweet. I had to be told this isn't her home. This is a show.
She's digging in the dirt, people. She's digging in the dirt. She's showing people how to.
They're just jealous because
I just want to see.
She's pretty, she's successful, and
I love her.
She bagged herself a prince.
But
I love her. I just wasn't my favorite.
If you don't like her, if you don't like the show, then don't freaking watch it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Hello, Royal Sussex Squad. Welcome back to the channel where we shine a light on truth, positivity, and empowerment. Today we're diving into the latest showdown between Meghan Markle's haters and those who stand by her side. The negativity surrounding Meghan is nothing short of obsessive, but thankfully, powerful voices are stepping up to shut it down. So let's break it all down and remind the world why Meghan continues to rise despite the relentless hate. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that super thanks button to support the channel. Let's talk about Joy Behar, the bold and fearless co-host of The View, who recently called out the haters and trolls lurking in the shadows of the internet. Joy made it crystal clear. These people exist solely to tear down Meghan Markle. Not because of anything she's done, but simply because she exists and dares to live her truth. These trolls thrive on negativity, generating clicks and profit through vile, baseless attacks. What's even more shocking, some of them have made careers out of spewing Meghan-related hate. Joy saw through the nonsense and exposed their real intentions: clout, attention, and hate-fueled revenue. She reminded the audience that this isn't about Meghan's actions. It's about the insecurity of those who can't handle a strong, independent woman of color thriving in her own lane. Joy wasn't alone. Sunny Hostin, another powerhouse voice on The View, took it a step further by declaring that she loves Meghan and everything she represents. Sunny has been watching Meghan's Netflix projects and is in full support of the Duchess. She made it clear that Meghan's critics aren't offering any real discourse. They're just projecting their own insecurities, bitterness, and jealousy. Sunny's words were powerful. Meghan Markle is a strong, intelligent, and compassionate woman who refuses to back down, and that is what triggers her detractors the most. She called out the hypocrisy in the media, pointing out that Meghan's work is constantly overshadowed by tabloid nonsense. Instead of acknowledging her philanthropic efforts, they choose to focus on fabricated drama. Then came Alyssa Farah Griffin with a refreshing perspective. Instead of focusing on the manufactured drama the British media peddles, Alyssa reminded the world of Meghan's charitable work. Meghan isn't just a former actress or a royal rebel. She's a humanitarian who has dedicated her life to service. From supporting women's rights to helping families in need, Meghan has continuously used her platform for good. But do the haters talk about that? Of course not. They'd rather fabricate outrage than acknowledge the real, tangible impact Meghan has had on people's lives. Alyssa emphasized that Meghan's philanthropic work stands as proof of her true character, and no amount of media slander can erase the good she's done. Anna Navarro didn't hold back either. She took a direct hit at the haters, exposing their entire operation for what it is, a money-making scam. These trolls don't care about truth, fairness, or integrity. They only care about clicks, attention, and monetizing hate. Anna's message was loud and clear. The relentless Meghan bashing isn't about journalism, and it's certainly not about royal tradition. It's about profiting from lies. And let's be honest, who benefits the most from this Meghan hate train? The same toxic media outlets that have built their entire empire on racism, misogyny, and bullying. She urged the audience to recognize these smear campaigns for what they are: cheap attempts to turn negativity into profit. Let's pause for a moment and celebrate something truly amazing. For the first time in a long while, we are seeing women uplifting each other in mainstream media. Joy, Sunny, Alyssa, and Anna aren't playing into the typical narrative of women tearing each other down. Instead, they're standing together, defending Meghan and calling out the toxicity that has plagued her life since day one. And this is the type of solidarity we need to see more of. Too often, women in media are pitted against each other, but these ladies on The View are breaking the cycle and leading by example. They are using their voices to fight against injustice and lift up a fellow woman who has been unfairly targeted. And then there's Sarah Haynes, who, bless her heart, tried to play devil's advocate by bringing up the issue of media transparency. Sarah questioned whether public figures like Meghan should expect a certain level of scrutiny. But leave it to Sunny Hostin to set the record straight. Sunny reminded everyone that social media and the tabloids are full of fabricated nonsense. The attacks on Meghan aren't about transparency or accountability, they're about dehumanization. Meghan isn't just a public figure. She's a mother, a wife, and a woman who has been vilified simply for existing outside the mold the British media wanted her to fit into. Sunny made it clear that what Meghan has faced isn't fair criticism. It's targeted harassment. And let's be real, this isn't just about Meghan. This is about how women, particularly black women, are treated when they dare to succeed, speak up, and take control of their own narratives. The sheer volume of hate Meghan receives daily is proof that some people still can't handle a woman who refuses to be silenced. The question is, why does Meghan make them so uncomfortable? The answer? Because she refuses to shrink herself to fit into their outdated, oppressive expectations. Meghan had a choice, to stay silent and endure the abuse or to stand up and defend herself. She chose the latter, and in doing so, she not only fought for herself, but for every woman who has ever been bullied into submission. By speaking her truth, Meghan set an example. No one has the right to tell you who you should be. Despite the negativity, Meghan has remained committed to her mission, giving back, uplifting communities, and advocating for women's rights. From her work with SmartWorks to her advocacy for mental health, Meghan's impact goes far beyond the headlines. She is a role model to millions, proving that resilience and kindness will always outweigh hatred. So, to all the haters, trolls, and professional Meghan bashers, time's up. We're not buying the lies, and we're certainly not letting you dictate Meghan's narrative. She is thriving, shining, and making a difference in the world. And for every bitter comment, every manufactured outrage, and every desperate attempt to bring her down, Meghan will keep rising. To my Royal Sussex Squad family, thank you for always standing on the right side of history. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a super thanks to help us keep this positive energy going. Let's continue to shine a light on the truth, celebrate Meghan and Harry, and shut down the haters, one video at a time. Until next time, stay bold, stay brilliant, and stay Royal Sussex Squad strong.